Hi students, my name is Hitesh Nagarashit. I am from Annavara. So last class we are discussing about a topic from 10th standard, that is trigonometry. In trigonometry we already discussed about trigonometric ratios and the related problems, and also we are discussed about trigonometric ratios of some specific angles. Also we solved some of the problems based on trigonometric ratios of some specific angles, also techniques too. And now we have to move on to the next topic, that is trigonometric identities. Trigonometric identities. Yes, identities. Identities you already learned in algebra part, algebraic identity, that is a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square, a plus b into a minus b, then a plus b whole cube, a minus b whole cube, a cube plus b cube, a cube minus b cube, a plus b plus c whole square. So many identities are there. So also in trigonometry also we have identities. So why we are having identity is we have to substitute that identity in some of the problems to get the answer easily. So here we have some of the identities are there, so we have to find it. Let us know about what is meant by trigonometric identity. So these are the equations involving trigonometric ratios of an angle. Trigonometric ratios of an angles. So that is, these are the identities. So these are the equations. These are the equations involving trigonometric ratios of an angles, ratios of an angles known as are known as trigonometric identities. Trigonometric identities. As already you know that, so we have some of the angles, that is trigonometric ratios of some specific angles. Also we know that, and it is found that these trigonometric identities, it is also holds good. It is also true for all the specific angles, all the angles possible. So that means it is holds good. These equations holds good for all the specific angles and all the angles possible here. Yes. So it is true for all the specific angles, all the specific angles. So that one we will check in some of the problems. While taking some of the problems, we will check all the specific angles and whether it is true or not. That one we have to check. So firstly we have to find out the trigonometric identities. For finding trigonometric identities, we want one right angle triangle. So let us draw a right angle triangle here. Yes, I will take the right angle triangle ABC and right angle at B. That is A, this is B, and this is C. This is a right angle triangle and a right angle at B. So firstly, after taking this right angle triangle, so you have to consider that one. That is consider a right angled triangle. Right angled triangle. Well, ABC, right angled at B. So this one we are calling right angle triangle, or right triangle also we are calling. Both are same. Right angled at B. Triangle at B here. Okay. So then here when you have a right angle triangle, so two terms comes in our mind. One is the Pythagoras theorem. That is, we are commonly using Pythagoras theorem. When you have two sides, another side we can find out. And another one is the trigonometric ratios. That is, So only we are applying trigonometric ratios in this angle, this type of triangle only. Other types we are not considering that one. Commonly we are not considering. So that is only two things comes on our mind. That is, one is the Pythagoras theorem, another one is the trigonometric ratios. Those two we want to find out the trigonometric identities, to derive the trigonometric identities. So let us apply the Pythagoras theorem first. For applying Pythagoras theorem, apply Pythagoras theorem. Apply Pythagoras theorem. Here AC is the longest side and BC and AB are the two shortest sides, that is compared to the AC. That's why we have to take this as a hypotenuse, that is AC is the hypotenuse and these two are other two sides. So while applying the identity, applying the Pythagoras theorem, so we are getting AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. It is AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. So I will take this as equation number 1. Then the second thing comes on our mind is trigonometric ratios. For trigonometric ratios we have to select any one angle. It is not possible to take angle B because the angle B is specific, that is 90 degree, it is O. When we have to select any one of two, that is angle A or angle C. I will select angle A. That is, so apply trigonometric ratios, all the trigonometric ratios. Then apply all trigonometric ratios. Yes, so let us apply all the trigonometric ratios. That is sine A. The first I will take sine A. Sine A is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse. That is, the side opposite to angle A is BC and hypotenuse is AC. That is BC by AC. This BC by AC. Then cos A. Cosine of A. Then cosine of A is nothing but cosecant function is nothing but cosine function is nothing but it is adjacent side by hypotenuse. So that's why it is AB by AC. AB by AC. Then finally tangent function, that is tan A. Tan A is equal to opposite side by adjacent side. Opposite is BC and adjacent is AB. That is BC by AB. Then we have to find out other trigonometric ratios as well. That is cosec A, secant A, and cotangent of A. That is, so we can, by taking the inverse of sine A, we are getting cosec A, and by inversing cos A, we are getting sec A. By inverting tan A, we are getting cot A. So let us write cosec A is equal to AC by BC. Then secant A is equal to AC by AB. Then cot A is equal to AB by BC. So here we got all the trigonometric ratio, and then I will consider this as equation number 2. So these two equations are very important to find out all the trigonometric identity. So that's why, so by only I am considering these two here. We have two equations. So using two equations we have to find out the trigonometric identities. So one technique is clear here, that is, so just observe this Pythagoras theorem. So whatever the equation 1 we have, so by dividing this equation with each of the term are there in the Pythagoras theorem, we are getting one identity. That means here there are three terms are there, AC square, AB square and BC square. So that is by dividing with each and the thing. For example, firstly I dividing with AC square to this equation 1. Then we are getting one trigonometric identity. And then I will divide this complete equation with AB square. Then we are getting another trigonometric identity. And at the end I am dividing with BC square. At that time we are getting another trigonometric identity. There are three trigonometric identities are there. So by dividing this equation with each of the terms, so we are getting different trigonometric identities. So let us take one by one. So first trigonometric identity, firstly I will take AC square. So divide equation 1 by AC square. Equation, the first equation, first trigonometric identity. So for that I am divide equation 1 by AC square. Yes, dividing throughout, divide completely A by AC square. That is AC square divided by AC square is equal to AB square divided by AC square plus BC square divided by AC square. That means here just observe AC square getting cancels. So that means it becomes 1 and remaining as it is, there is no any changes. Here we have 1 here. Then here just observe AB square by AC square. Both the powers are same, so that means we can take the ratio into the bracket, that is AB by AC whole square plus and BC by AC whole square. BC by AC whole square. So that means already you know about the law of exponent, that is A raised to m by B raised to m is equal to A by B whole raised to m. The same thing here. And just observe here we have to search this ratio belongs to which trigonometric ratio here, which trigonometric function here. So here just AB by AC, just find AB by AC here. AB by AC is cos A. So that means substitute AB by AC here. That is 1 is equal to, so cos A whole square, it is nothing but cos square A. Then so find A BC by AC. Here BC by AC is equal to sin A. That is sin A whole square is nothing but sin square A. Just observe here we got one of the trigonometric identity, that is nothing but sin square A plus cos square A is equal to 1. So this is the first trigonometric identity. So that is, so sin square A plus cos square A is equal to 1. So here just observe, so in this formula or in this identity, sin term and cos term both are relating with each other. That means we got the relationship between sin function and the cos function using this identity here. Yes, as I told, so actually in this form I just divided this equation 1 with AC square. So likewise we have to do the same in the second trigonometric identity. So here I am dividing this complete equation 1 with AB square. So yes, take this one, AB square, divide. So if it is possible you can solve your own as well. Yes. Equation number 2, that is trigonometric identity number 2. So divide this equation by AB square. Divide equation 1 by AB square. What happens? Just divide completely with AB square. That is AC square by AB square is equal to AB square divided by AB square. AB square by AB square plus, then finally BC square we have BC square divided by AB square. BC square divided by AB square. Then here just observe AB square and AB square getting cancels. Then it becomes 1 here. Then here just observe, here we can use the law of exponent, that is AC by AB whole square is equal to 1 plus BC by AB whole square. Yes. So here we have to find the related trigonometric function. So AC by AB, just search AC by AB where it is. AC by AB, AC by AB here. AC by AB is nothing but secant A. That is secant A whole square, secant square A. This secant square A is equal to 1 plus BC by AB. Where it is BC by AB? You have to search. Yes, here it is BC by AB. BC by AB is nothing but tan. That is nothing but tan square A. So the trigonometric ratio identity is 1 plus tan square A is equal to secant square A. So this is the second trigonometric identity. So this is the first trigonometric identity, this is the second trigonometric identity. So we got by dividing AB square from equation by equation 1. So likewise another term we have, that is BC square. So for BC square I want the space, that's why I am just rubbing this triangle. Yes, here I have to write. Yes, the last one, last trigonometric identity, that is divide this equation 1 by finally BC square, that is third trigonometric identity. Divide equation 1 by BC square. Divide equation 1 by BC square. Yes. So then AC square by BC square is equal to, then AB square by BC square. AB square by BC square plus AB square by here, then finally BC square divided by BC square, that is BC square and BC square here get cancelled, that means here we got 1. Then here the same thing, AC by BC whole square is equal to, then here also we have to write the same, like the same, AB by BC whole square plus 1. At the end of that we have to search that trigonometric ratio here. Then AC by BC, which is AC by BC, yes, AC by BC is equal to cosec A, cosec A whole square, that is cosec square A is equal to AB by BC, where it is AB by BC here, cot A, AB by BC is equal to cot A, that is cot A whole square means cot square A plus 1. That is, this is the third trigonometric identity, that is nothing but cot square A plus 1 is equal to cosec square A. Yes. These are the three trigonometric identities. So we got using Pythagoras theorem as well as trigonometric identity, that is, so we have some relationship, whatever we are not having in the trigonometric ratios of some specific angles, here we got, that is, it relates sin A and cos A, it relates tan A and secant A, and it relates cot A and cosecant A. So such relationship we got here. So these are the three trigonometric ratios we have here. So let us take some of the problems based on trigonometric identities. Let's take the first problem here. So here just observe, we have to express cos A, tan A, secant A in terms of sin A. So here just observe, here only we are getting formulas. So as already we know that there is some relationship between the sin A and tan A, cos A, so all those things, that is, so some of inversely related and some of trigonometric identity related. So we have, using all those things, we have to express these three terms, that is cos A, tan A, secant A in terms of sin A. So already you know that sin A and cos A is related with the trigonometric identity, this first trigonometric identity. So we have to express those two things. So firstly let us take first trigonometric identity and then let us relate sine and cos function. So take equation number 1, that is first trigonometric identities. We know that it is sin square A is equal to sin square A plus cos square A is equal to 1. Okay, we have to express cos A in terms of sin A. That is cos A in terms of sine A we have to find out. That is, we have to shift this sine square A into the RHS side. That is, cos square A is equal to 1 minus sine square A. Then cos A, that is, transpose this square to the RHS side, we are getting square root of 1 minus sine square A. So that means if it is given sine function, sine of A it is given, so we can easily find out the value of cos A using this relationship. This is the relationship between cosec of an angle and the sine of, cosine of an angle and cosine of an angle and the sine of an angle. So both relate with each other with this formula. And then here actually we expressed cos A in terms of sine A here. So this is the one formula we got here. And then we have to express tan A in terms of sine A. So we have to use our all the formulas. That is, tan A, already know that tan of theta is equal to sine theta by cos theta. So we can use that one. That is tan theta. So I will take this tan A is equal to sine A divided by cos A. So already we expressed cos A in terms of sine. So that means only we have to substitute cosine of A is equal to square root of 1 minus sine square A, square root of 1 minus sine square A in this place of cos A. Tan A is equal to sine A divided by square root of 1 minus sine square A. So here we got the relationship between tan A and only sine A. That is sine A divided by square root of 1 minus sine square A. So here when we have a square root sign, we have to take plus or minus, better, because plus or minus is must include. That is, plus or minus we have to include, because sometimes minus of that also we are having such. So here also better we have to include plus or minus. So only the things when it is matters is when we have a minus 1 and plus 1. If it is 1 minus sine square A is a perfect square. At that time we have to, for example, 1 square minus sine square A, we can express it as 1 plus sine A into 1 minus sine A. So that's why better we have to include this plus or minus here. So here firstly we express cos A in terms of sine A and tan A in terms of sine, and only the term remains we have to express secant A in terms of sine A. So as already we know that secant A is equal to inverse of cos A. So that is secant A is equal to 1 divided by cos A is equal to, that is secant A. So that is secant A, we already know that secant A is the inverse of 1 by cos A. Cos A already we got, which is expressed in the form of in terms of sine A, that is cos A is equal to plus or minus square root of 1 minus sine square A, that is 1 divided by square root of, that is plus or minus square root of 1 minus sine square A. So this is the formula relates secant A in terms of sine A here. So we can find out so many problems. For example, cosec A, sine A and cot A, sine. So all the things we can express. So using trigonometric identities, that is, we have to use all those trigonometric, all the three trigonometric identities. We can relate one trigonometric ratio in terms of another trigonometric ratio or trigonometric function. Like that. Okay, so let us move on to the next problem here. So here just observe, it is given that tan A is equal to 1 by root 3 and cot A is equal to root 3. So we have to find secant A, cos A, sine A and cosecant A. So here we have to find out these four trigonometric functions. So using given terms. So firstly we have to go with the trigonometric identity. Just observe here. So here tan A is given and tan A is relates with the secant A with the trigonometric identity. That is secant square A is equal to 1 plus tan square A. So using that one we can find out the secant A. And cos A. Cos A is nothing but it's completely a inverse of secant A. So that's why only we can take the inverse. Then once we know the cosine of A, so we can find out sine A using first trigonometric identity, sin square a plus cos square a is equal to 1. So once you got the sin a, you can find out cosecant a by taking the inverse of sin a. So it is very easy. So find out one by one. Yes, let's take first one. Tan a, already it is given, tan a is equal to 1 by root 3, it is given. So using that one, better we have to find out secant a first. Yes. So first we know that secant square a is equal to 1 plus tan square a. So is equal to, so in place of tan a, so you have to substitute the given value. It is 1 plus tan a, in place of tan a, so you have to substitute 1 by root 3 whole square. So is equal to 1 plus, it is 1 square means 1 and root 3 square means 3. So take the LCM and LCM is 3, here we are getting 3 plus 1 is equal to 4 divided by 3. That is secant square a is equal to 4 by 3. Secant square a is equal to 4 by 3. Then secant a is equal to square root of 4 by 3 is equal to 2 by root 3. Now secondly, the value of secant a is equal to 2 by root 3. So here we got the value of secant a, and using cos secant a is equal to 2 by root 3, so we can find out the value of cos a. So here we got the value of secant a is equal to 2 by root 3. Then take the inverse of that one, so you are getting cos a, that is secant a, and cos a is equal to 1 divided by secant a is equal to 1 divided by 2 by root 3. So then cos a is equal to root 3 by, so root 3 by the cos a, value of cos a is equal to root 3 by 2. Then here we got the value of cos a, so using cos a we can find out the value of sin a using the first trigonometric ratio, the trigonometric identity. So that is, we know that sin square a plus cos square a is equal to 1. Then sin square a is equal to 1 minus cos square a. Then substitute the value of cos a here. That is, cos a is equal to root 3 by 2. 1 minus root 3 by 2 whole square. Then, so is equal sin square a is equal to, so here root 3 by 2 whole square, that is root 3 square is 3 and 2 square is 4. That is 1 minus 3 by 4 is equal to, take the LCM here, so then 4 minus 3 is equal to 1 by 4. That is sin square a is equal to 1 by 4. Then sin a is equal to square root of 1 by 4. It is sin a is equal to 1 by 2. It is 1 by 4, so square, it is, while taking the square root we are getting 1 by 2. Sin a is equal to 1 by 2. And finally we have to find out the value of cosecant a, that is cosec a is equal to 1 by sin a, that is reciprocal, that is equal to 1 by 2. Then cosec a is equal to 2. So that is, so we have to change into multiplication, that is 1 into 2 by 1. We have to interchange the numerator and denominator by change when we change division into multiplication. So that is the rule of division between two fractions. Already we know that we have to change the division into multiplication first by changing the numerator and the denominator of the second fraction. Then we are getting 2 in the numerator, that's why we have 2 here. Cosecant a is equal to 2. That is, only we are using trigonometric ratio, we have to express one equation into another equation, one in terms of another trigonometric function. So we can find out different trigonometric function here. That is, so only we have tan a. So just observe, we found out secant A first, and then using secant A we found out cos A, and then using cos A we found out sin A using first trigonometric identity, then using sin A we found out cosecant A. So likewise we can find out all the trigonometric function here. So I hope you understood this thing. So there are so many problems are there based on these trigonometric identities. So those who are watching this video for the first time, please subscribe our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. You can get the notification of our channel very easily. Also hit the like button. Thank you and all. Be safe and stay home. Thank you.